Hello, Mr. Chu here with Bear Algebra, teaching algebra so that everyone understands and learns. This is the lesson where we're going over student problems 1 and 2 from lesson 101B, which was understanding variables and algebra expressions. This was the second lesson on this topic. We went through vocab terms. We'll quickly go through these. We did introduce what variables in algebra were. Here's some examples. Just x is a variable, 3y is a variable, it's a coefficient with a variable. Negative 13m is a coefficient with a variable. Then we've got pi and alpha, which were Greek letters, which are also variables. We had some algebraic expressions, x plus 4, 3y minus 7z, mn divided by fg, and negative 12bcd. We talked about terms of algebraic expressions. So we know that the x is a term and 4 is a term here. You hear Bear whining. He wants you to make sure that you don't let algebra get you down. You might have heard Bear in the background whining. The 3y is a term, the negative 7z is a term, the mn is a term, fg is a term, and the negative 12bcd is a term. Two or more terms that are multiplied together are called factors. The result of the multiplication of two factors or more, two or more factors, is called a product. Product can be expressed by writing two variables side by side, by using an asterisk in between them, a raised dot in between them, or you can use parentheses. Here's some examples of the products of m and n. mn, m asterisk n, m raised dot n. You can also put parentheses around one or both of them. And that kind of catches us up. And Bear is still whining, wants you not to let algebra get you down. So we had student press problems. It says, write an algebraic expression for each verbal expression. The sum of 4 times k and 6. The word sum means you're adding. Times means multiplication. So it's 4k plus 6 or 6 plus 4k. The next one, the product of y to the 4th power and z to the 3rd power. The word product means multiply, so we're going to take y with an exponent of 4 and z with an exponent of 3 and multiply them. So y to the 4th, z to the 3rd. C, 1c. The quotient of 7 times b squared and 2. The word quotient means divide. So it's going to be 7 times b to the 2nd power. Or you can write a fraction, 7b squared in the numerator. And then divide it by 2 or write 2 in the denominator. So there is a little correction here. So there is a square right here that's left off. And I will add that we need to have parentheses around that as well. And then the divide sign here. All right, this is the preferred way to write it. 7b squared in the numerator and 2 in the denominator. So that's the way that I would prefer that my algebra students write it. Now we have 6 times the sum of the cube of m and 2. So the word times means multiply. So 6 outside the parentheses because the sum of means there'll be parentheses, with m to the 3rd power plus 2 inside the parentheses. So you can either have the 6 on the left, parentheses, m cubed plus 2, close the parentheses, or you can have the 6 on the right, but the parentheses m cubed plus 2. Both of them are correct. So I'll give you an opportunity if you need to stop video and check your work. Now we'll go on to the next problem. So we're going to identify the base and exponent, and then I'm adding something which is an extension, which just means if this is really easy for you, see if you can do this part too. See if you can simplify each one if possible. I know, Bear. Bear's saying don't let algebra get you down. That's what he's asking you to do. Don't let algebra get you down. So right here is my bear boy. So this is who algebra is named after. Bear wanted up on my lap. And that's whose picture is up here at the top. So if I have 16m or 16 to the third power, we have to identify the base, the exponent, and then simplify it if possible. Okay? So the base is 16, the exponent is 3, and that means 16 to the third power, which really means 16 times 16 times 16, which is 4096. That is the extension when you do even more. Okay? So now negative 20 p to the negative second. Now's where we're getting into that 8th grade standard that a lot of algebra students struggle with. What does a negative exponent mean? Well, negative 20 is a coefficient, and p is the base, and negative 2 is the exponent. What does that really equal when you simplify it? Well, it equals negative 20 times 1 over p to the first, and I can put this over 1, multiply negative 20 times 1 to get my negative 20 in the numerator, over 1 times p to the first, which is p. And this is your simplified answer. That is a little bit harder material than what we've been working on for this. Okay, so now 2 pi r squared, 2 is a coefficient, pi is the base because it's the variable, and 1 is the exponent, it's to the first power, and r is the base, and 2 is the exponents to the second power. You cannot simplify that any further unless they ask you to approximate it. If they want you to approximate it, it would be 2 times 3.14 r squared or 6.28 r squared, but that is not exact. That is an approximation. D, A the negative 1, B the 0th C. This has some of that 8th grade stuff in it again. A is the base, negative 1 is the exponent, B is the base, 0 is the exponent, and C is the base, and 1 is the exponent. But how can I simplify that? Well, it's not that tough. That A to the negative 1 would be 1 over A to the first, or A. B to the 0th, we're multiplying here, it's a raised dot, is 1, because anything to 0th power is 1 except for 0. Another raised dot, and then C. So that really equals C over A. That was a little bit tougher, but that is when you are simplifying them. And if you need to pause it, check your answers, there they are. All right. So a link will appear on the right side here shortly with the work solutions. A link will appear, actually that should say that a link will appear with the playlist and your original lesson. So I'll cover that up. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got lots and lots of videos that are already in there and more that are coming. Follow me, and then you would still be able to see more of my helpful Bear algebra videos. So those links will be coming up. I just wanted to show you a good shot. This is Bear, and this is what Bear Algebra is all about. It's a namesake for this puppy dog. He's a 12-year-old buddy of mine. Please check out more of my videos, subscribe, and follow me. I do appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.